Well, we're halfway through the college hockey season, and after a wild weekend series against Penn State, the Wisconsin Badgers have some confidence heading into the inaugural Kwik Trip Holiday Face-off at Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. I'm Brian Posick. We'll hear from head coach Tony Granato and go down memory lane with Tom Gilbert next on the Badger Hockey Digest. Well, Tony, the last series before the semester break against Penn State was wild, to say the least, but you got 4 out of 6 points, and I would think some confidence gained in that series.
Well, it was nice we scored goals. I think that was the one thing. First half of the year, it seemed like there were lots of series we played really well and had trouble scoring. So to be able to score 8 goals in a series was real exciting. Game on Friday night, the first game of the series, really right from the start of the game, we played really solid defensively. We were able to capitalize in the power play, and we played, probably one of our better games or more complete games of the year in that one for a 4-1 win. And then the second night, we had a really slow start, which kind of surprised me. I think it surprised our team. And Penn State, obviously, after losing the first game, came out ready to play, and they took advantage of us kind of standing around for a little bit. And we didn't get going until the third period. And most of the times when you don't play a full 60, you don't have a chance. And for us to battle back from being down 4-1 and just finding a way to create the energy and excitement and get the crowd going into the building, it was a phenomenal finish for us to tie the game late, and unfortunately we lost in overtime. But the comeback was big for our team, for a young team to be behind 3 goals in the third period and come back and tie it late was exciting and a good thing for our team.
Yeah, and then a little over 2 weeks between games, Penn State and what now is the inaugural Kwik Trip Holiday Face-off at Fiserv Forum. It was supposed to happen last year, but obviously the pandemic set it back 1 year for a long time. 1989 to 2002, the Badger Hockey Showdown was played at the Bradley Center. Over 370,000 fans packed that building for that stretch of time, 13, 14 years or so. Now you're back in Milwaukee. You know what the fans are like in Milwaukee, and Badger fans will come from everywhere. That should be a fun event.
It is, and for us, it's always exciting to play outside of our, area and outside of Madison, because we know we're not just a Madison team, we're a state team. So when you're able to go into Milwaukee area and know that the fans there are excited about having or welcoming us into their facility, it's going to be really exciting. And you talked about the history of that tournament. There's been some phenomenal hockey play there. There's been some great players that have stepped onto that ice and played in the Milwaukee tournament, and so we're excited. We know it's important not only for our team but for our state and for our fans to have us have a good showing in there. So it's going to be a exciting tournament for us.
Sure. The last time Wisconsin played a Badger Hockey Showdown in Milwaukee, Tom Gilbert was one of the stars, and we're going to hear from one of the stars of the 2006 National Championship team when we come back.
You can try, but you'll never stop a Badger, because we Badgers are born with curious minds and endless heart. When we see a curve in the road, we speed up. When there are mask shortages for first responders, we make our own supply chain. When there's a world on pause, we sharpen our claws. Through thunder, fire, and pandemics, we'll keep going. Because after all, you can't stop a Badger.
Well, since the Badgers are going to Milwaukee, we thought we'd bring back a young man who had some pretty good success in Milwaukee at the old Bradley Center, the Badger Hockey Showdown in the 2006 NCAA tournament. Tom Gilbert. Tom, thanks for coming out. And you have some fond memories of Milwaukee, don't you?
Yeah, there's not many buildings I can recall where, I've scored some big goals in, and that I've, for like my memories, there's probably 1 or 2 buildings that I can go into where I'm like, I have so much confidence that, if I were to play there again now at 38, I'd probably go in there and be like, hey, I'm going to score a goal. It's just the way it is. So not many buildings have that, and Milwaukee is one of them, and it's just such a great memory. I still think about it every day.
The Kohl Center is a beautiful building. What made the Bradley Center special?
Well, obviously, I think just because it's in Wisconsin, it doesn't matter. Like, you can go play in you play visiting teams, you play in their rink. when it's like a neutral arena, but it's in your own state. I mean, like when we played there, it's all Badger fans, right? So I think that was neat. It was, it's a pro rink. Not that, the Kohl Center isn't, but you just know that there are pro teams that come in there. It's just, it just feels like there's more fans. It's maybe sometimes like a bigger stage. And I think that's what was probably so exciting about playing there.
Yeah, in 2006, you lived out a dream of making it to the Frozen Four, and you beat Maine in the national semifinals, and then you go to the national championship game against Boston College, and that was a game that featured 16 penalties. I don't know if you recall that. You had one of the better power plays this program's had, but you were 1 for 8 on the man advantage. It's 1-1 in the third, and then Tom Gilbert lights the lamp for what proved to be the game-winning goal. What a memory that must have been.
I mean, it was a dream come true, honestly, especially for, myself, for the seniors that were there for 4 years, from what we went through our freshman year to then. I mean, obviously, again, being in Wisconsin, it was just like the path from that year, from the start to finish. We played in Green Bay. We ended up in Milwaukee. Our team was awesome. We had a little bit of adversity. It was a storybook ending. It's just one of those moments that you're fortunate enough to be on the ice for, and you got 4 surrounding guys that are great players, and I was just in the right spot at the right time.
The building went berserk when that final shot hit the far post. Brian Elliott, to this day, said he had the angle on the shot. He knew it wasn't going in. But that moment when all of your hard work finally came to fruition, that was that the highlight of your playing career? I mean, you played a long time in the National Hockey League, played overseas as well, but was that the highlight?
Yeah, I mean, if I look back on it, 100%. And of course, I think winning championships at any level, whether it was like when I started out, Pee-wees, Bantams, high school hockey in Minnesota, I think just winning championships is always a memory you'll never forget. But this was, like I said, it was like such a storybook ending that, and I'm so close to all the guys on that team still, which is awesome. And a lot of guys live in, here in the Madison area, and we all keep in touch. We've had reunions. I think it's for sure my favorite memory of playing hockey. And I got a ton of memories about first time playing places and different levels, but I think just it was such an awesome moment that it's got to be number one.
Yeah. You had so much fun with your teammates and with the national championship trophy, you had to get another one. Is that right?
I think it's not supposed to go that way, but we had so much fun, and I'm sure I'm sure the story's appropriate to tell on here.
Sure.
But I think for us, like we got rowdy every night. Of course, we were celebrating. You put in that much work, and from the beginning of the year, you have no idea how it's going to end. And I think especially for maybe like my class too, to put in 4 years from where it was when Coach Eves came in and how it progressed and, kind of went down my junior year, but just the way that it ended and how much work we actually put in when we look back on it. There was no way we were not celebrating every single day until we had to leave. Everyone had to leave at some point.
Well, you look like you could play at age 38. You certainly have the flow for it.
Still there, yep.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks a lot for coming down and have fun watching the Badgers in Milwaukee.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, that's Tom Gilbert, who scored the game-winning goal in the national championship game at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee in 2006. The Badgers hosting Yale in Bowling Green in Providence, and the inaugural Kwik Trip Holiday Face-off at Fiserv Forum. Hey, it's a great Christmas gift. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. For Tom Gilbert and Tony Granato, I'm Brian Posick. Happy holidays, and thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,